Hey everybody, GP here, and I am opening up registration now for my next level 1 Meridian tapping immersion and training class. I've done it in its most modern version twice now, and wow, I'm I'm just really amazed at how quickly people are growing, healing, really coming into a sense of their own worth, their own value, and confidence in themselves. My approach to doing tapping, those of you who have seen presence tapping or any of even my old videos, know is rather unique, and I just find it to be far more effective. Not because the tapping's all that different, although with presence tapping I do it a little bit differently, but because it's because there's an understanding, there's a way I see the world which is more spiritual. It's my deepest conviction, coming from experience, that at the root of all of us, right down at the base, there is a genuine, true, authentic self that has remained untouched, uncorrupted, and totally innocent for the entirety of your life. It was there at the beginning, and it's still there, but it has been covered up by conditioning. So my approach is not merely trying to reprogram the system through some mechanism. My approach is to get us to the point where we see that the conditioning that we have been living under, that is, all the reactive patterns, all of the things that have caused us all the suffering, are not essentially what you are. Changing them isn't necessary. Freeing yourself from them is necessary. Conditioning are simply programmed reactive patterns in the nervous system based on events that occurred a long time ago in childhood and even in adulthood. But in order to keep you, the body, everything safe, the nervous system had to do stuff internally. It had to make sure that the kind of behaviors and actions that you took, the things you said, the things you believed, and that got you into trouble when you were young, that it had to suppress those things. So the very naturalness of you, the reality of you, your true authentic self, wasn't free to come out and express itself like in a child. The end result being is that conditioning developed to keep you safe in an environment where it simply wasn't safe to be you. So just changing the conditioning, making a different version of you that's better, like an upgrade to me 3.1 or something, isn't really liberating you, because that self-image is also going to be based on the environment you happen to be in. Emotional freedom, remember, it's EFT, the emotional freedom technique. Emotional freedom is the freedom to be yourself. And that freedom comes through eliminating your reliance on and identification with conditioning, which sets the real you, the true, authentic, natural you, free to express itself. And you know what? You don't have to learn how to be you. You already are. You don't have to learn, how am I going to function in the world? You don't have to have 7 steps to being able to be a success. You simply have to be yourself. But that's the key. As far as the nervous system is concerned, the conditioning and the programming, it's not safe to be you. That's what this is all about. So the immersion that I do, the training that I do, is all about, especially in level 1, there are 3 levels actually, but in level 1, the subtitle is, well, the title is, The Art of Creating a Safe Space. If you create a safe space within the nervous system, and that requires some training. You have to learn how to do that, because we've been programmed into exactly the opposite. When you do learn how to do that, you find you heal very naturally. Those defensive behaviors, the conditioning just goes away because it's not needed anymore because the environment has become safe. Learning how to be safe with yourself is what this is all about, because that's not what we've been taught. We've been taught to resist. We've been taught to deny ourselves, to judge, to self-sabotage, to criticize as if that was going to get us somewhere. And then we were taught to try to be something you're not, which of course is impossible. You can't do it. My experience has been, and is increasingly telling me this is the way it has to be, that you can't just do this without some guidance, without somebody who's done it guiding you through it, pointing out the potholes that you might fall into and the cul-de-sacs you might get distracted into. And it requires a group, a support group, a sangha, a group of people who are on the same path, doing the same thing, that can be mutually supportive. So included in the training is that there's a chat group, a whole lot of access to me, so that you can get some personal attention and not just group attention. It's group attention that meets once a week, goes on for, well, minimum of 5. I've never done 5. It's usually more like 7, 8 weeks. There's pre-recorded material that goes over a lot of stuff that you need to know, different ways of doing tapping and the like. But the most important part of it is learning the art of creating a safe space. And we've all been trained how to do exactly the opposite. We didn't grow up in a safe space, and we learned how to recreate the unsafe space for ourselves. And that's why these things perpetuate themselves. So I hope you'll join me. It's not very expensive. Got all sorts of payment programs. And I even help people, like, weird exchange rates in other countries, or people who just can't afford it. I'm always working on it. So there's always a way. So if you're interested, there's a link below. I'll put a link here on the screen as well. If you're not sure, send me an email to tapping@omschool.co. That's also a link that's down below. And we can talk about it. We can see how we can make it work, or maybe there's some other course or private session or something else that might work for you instead. But please take the time and the investment in yourself to check it out. You can learn a lot and gain a lot through these YouTube videos, but you can't really make the big transformation, the long-term transformation, without having guidance from a teacher, experience, and a group of others to be able to work through the stuff that sometimes is so subtle we don't even notice it. So, hope you'll join me. Until then, everybody, have a blessed day and namaste.